The XFL Gambling Podcast Week 7 reaction show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com and use the promo code SGPN for a 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized glasses. We're also brought to you by Golf Gambling Podcast Callaway Driver Giveaway. Yes, head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver to enter today before the big drawing on April 8th. We're also brought to you by Baseball Money is Fake. Yes, our fantasy baseball podcast. Join Blake and Ryan 3 times a week and get all the player breakdowns and statistical data you'll ever need to dominate. So check them out today. And remember, as always, to let it ride.
This is Brock Purdy from Iowa State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
This is the XFL Gambling Podcast Week 7 reaction show. Holy shit, we had a crazy week of XFL action. If you're wondering just who the hell you're listening to, well, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. We killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Oh! For some reason, I just can't go 4-0. 3-1, 3-1. Every week I'm 3-1. I guess I shouldn't complain. What a week of action, though. Got signings, new players emerging, and a crazy future that, a couple of square sharps might have gave away. I am joined by my co-host who's in Springfield, Missouri. Go see. Are you doing a show in
Sir.
in Springfield?
Just visiting the Bible Belt buckle area of the this beautiful country.
Well,
Yes,
and go check out his comedy, guys. But look, this is the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. They call him the man in the box, and he's really just the type of guy that
he's the kind of guy that would drink you down on the gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
And look, poolside in Springfield, Missouri sounds appealing. How you doing, buddy? And
good.
Yeah, how's old Springfield over there?
Springfield's great. Home of Bass Pro Shop, home of O'Reilly Auto Parts, home of Casey's Pizza, also an Iowa staple, Taco Pizza, and home of Crystal Meth. It's been a great weekend here at Springfield, Missouri. Like I said, the Bible Belt buckle of the country. Did shows all weekend, but still caught the XFL action.
Oh man, I mean the XFL action was absolutely fantastic, and we're joined by this guy who, I feel like I need some type of really. How about this?
Welcome to the party, pal.
That's the only thing I had with the party drop was John McClain. But this guy, host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, which you need to check out. It's his fucking birthday. He's over here getting older on us. Happy birthday, and give it up for Justin Mark, a.k.a. J Mark. How you doing, brother?
Yes.
Well, thank you for the birthday wishes. I am doing good. It was a good day.
Now, did J Mark wifey also take the day off on your birthday like you did for her? And did she take you out, I hope, that you guys have birthdays within a week of each other and I see you have your leather vest on already, so you're probably out there in the Iowa bars, dealing with the biker gangs, having a birthday on you. I love it.
Liquid dinner tonight, sweetheart. Liquid dinner.
It's not a vest. I don't know why it looks like a vest.
Leather vest, J. Mark birthday.
It's a
boy.
vest.
She did take me to a whiskey bar though. So
we saw a picture. Incredible whiskey bar.
Yeah,
that was nice. That was nice.
That's fantastic. When did that start? I want to hear his birthday session first.
Sure.
Real quick. The whiskey birthday session. Yeah.
Oh, that we didn't start that till 2:30. Yesterday we went to Speakeasy, then we went out to eat, tried a lot of different whiskeys. So yesterday was kind of the big celebrating day. My parents were in town. We hung out with them for a bit.
Nice.
Yeah, and then today
was just 10 straight hours of casual whiskey drinking. I got you.
Right,
Hey,
yeah.
This was more business like.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not stopping. So
all right, fantastic.
Internet, is that my internet? We're going out right now.
You were frozen,
but
for
you're
a while.
okay. Yeah, it was just you. You're okay though. You're from the headquarters down in Santa Monica.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I don't know what you guys said, but anyway, happy fucking birthday. I hope you had a wonderful birthday, and hopefully, we can now celebrate because Terrell Buckley.
Yeah.
I mean, look, guys, we talked about taking Orlando as a future. Guess what happened this weekend? Not only, I guess let's start off with Seattle. Seattle beats Arlington, so Arlington loses like they needed.
Mm-hmm.
Then San Antonio loses. And then we said, could Orlando beat either DC or in the final week, St. Louis, because the next 2 weeks they're going to play Arlington and San Antonio.
Right. Let's update.
Terrell Buckley must have been listening to us because they had 11 on almost every play. Right? And they got it done against the DC defenders. Holy shit. I mean, I gave away a DFS lineup that won cash because Quentin Storman, Normandy, Beach. Holy shit. I mean, is he the best quarterback since Broadway Joe, guys? I mean, I'm not going chronologically here, but I'm saying, like, that was unbelievable. I mean, we were on Orlando, right?
Yeah, this is the game to talk about. We're not just on Orlando. We gave out to all the clients a future ticket at 150 to 1 to ship the championship. We said the hardest part, they just got to get by these pesky undefeated DC defenders who are clearly the best football team. And now that they handle them, easy work at the old Camping World Stadium. I mean, I see a clear path for our Guardians. That number's off the board. All they did. I mean, I think we have to take credit for the half motivation of getting Terrell Buckley's getting his first team win.
I mean, look, yeah, definitely. And I get it. The defense gave up 36, but Quentin Storman, Normandy Beach honestly looks like the best quarterback in this league. 27 of 34, 328, almost 10 yards of completion, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. He also had 3 rushing touchdowns. This guy, fucking incredible.
If they could make an extra point, I mean, dear Lord. Six touchdowns and they have 37 points. That's not great. And they're going for ones of Jesus Christ. Just make 2 of them. Anything.
Well, what's perplexing here is that Abram Smith still ran for $127, and actually DC had almost 500 yards of offense.
Yeah, DC looked great.
But they didn't. They gave. I don't understand how this happened, but the Guardians, and this is the game I caught least amount of eyes on because we were doing the broadcast for the Final Four.
Sure, it was Saturday night.
I was not able to watch this one. Lucky Jackson had another big day. And how about Chris Blair? 5 for 139 and a touchdown. J Mark, what'd you make of this game?
Yeah, it was interesting because DC still looks like the best team. I mean, they were moving very efficiently. They were playing a really soft zone defense, and Dormady was beating it. I mean, he was just moving the ball down the field, finding the holes in the zone. It seemed nothing better than that. Just find the holes in the zone, make the play. And that's exactly what he was doing and moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to think they have a leg up on San Antonio and Arlington, right?
I don't even know why they're playing those games. They are W's. Let's just rush me to Orlando, St. Louis closer. Let's get these guys in the goddamn playoffs.
They need to be in the playoffs with the way old Dormandy and that's amazing. that this guy was almost kicked out of the league a few weeks ago.
Right. I know.
He is shoeless Joe Jackson over here, kicking out the best fucking player, you know?
Well, like we said, this is the number one motivator of all modern humanity, and that is to scrub your Google search history and change it and flip the script when someone searches for you, because he has Normandy cheater. He needs to erase that by just putting in content of victory. So he just says it so it's on the second page of results, and that's what he's fighting for. He's trying to get cheater on page 2 of the Google results. And that's a team we want to be a part of. This is our team of destiny.
Yes, and you can't convince me otherwise that he shouldn't be starting in the NFL with how many shitty quarterbacks I saw play last year. So what a story there. We're going to go game by game here. But before I do that, I want to tell you that the XFL Gambling Podcast Week 7 reaction show is brought to you by Shady Rays. Yes, kick off the new year. Built, with some new gear that's built to really last. Our friends at Shady Ways have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and much, much more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair of glasses you've ever worn in your life. They got durable frames, extremely clear optics in case you're going on those outdoor adventures. That's not all, though. Shady Rays offers, like, pretty much the greatest thing I've ever heard here. The most insane protection in all eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost or broken replacements. Yes, that includes, I don't know. I mean, if you're, let's say you're going to check out the old Empire State Building, you look over the edge and goddamn it, your sunglasses fall off. All right. Boom. Next thing you know, you can re-up, say, hey, I was checking out the Empire State, but here's a new pair. Boom.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Could be day one. You could be on the way home getting an argument with your son, throw your glasses at your son, and hits him in the head and breaks. And, you turn the old car around and go right back. They're going to load you up. It's a great deal. It's a great deal. Even on day one. And have you never been hit by a pair of sunglasses?
I was just going to say, not only like that guy throwing the sunglasses at his son and breaking them, but then being concerned about the sunglasses. Look what you did by getting in the way of me throwing that thing at you. And I need a new pair of sunglasses. You're lucky. You're lucky this company gives me a free refill.
And you're still mowing lawns all summer. All right? You're still mowing lawns all summer. Yes. So wear your Shady Rays with confidence.
Shady Rays, baby.
I mean, look, they got your back long after your purchase, clearly. With Shady Rays, you can also look and feel good. Check this out. To date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America right there. All right. They're probably all outside my house. I'm about a block from Venice Beach, but damn it, Shady Rays doing a great job feeding the homeless. And if you don't love them, exchange for a new pair, or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back. And by the way, exclusive for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses. And you can try them yourself. Look, they have over 2,000 5-star reviews. That's getting it done. I'm sorry, 200,000 5-star reviews. I can't read. But that's still a lot of people. Either way you break it down. A lot of 5-star reviews happening over at Shady Rays. So check them out. And, see you out there on the slopes. All right, we are back talking XFL. Now we're going to go chronologically. The Seattle Sea Dragons, 24. The Arlington Renegades, 15. Sea Dragons just signed Philip Lindsay, the former NFL Pro Bowler. They got Gordon. This is a dream team. They got Danucci, Josh Gordon, now Philip Lindsay, who obviously didn't play this week because he was just signed. But, here's the thing. Arlington actually looked a little bit better than I anticipated. They were able to run the ball at 5.1 yards a carry with Davion Smith. But we didn't see Luis Perez play. Sea Dragons, Danucci threw for 266, a touchdown and another red zone interception. He also rushed for 52 yards. That's 3 weeks in a row. I think he's been the leading rusher on the Sea Dragons. Mm-hmm. But, hey, they keep winning. What do you make of the signing? What do you make of the game? Are the Sea Dragons, we're going to do our power rankings at the end, but 5-2 now. They're red hot, 5 in a row. CJ, what'd you make of June Jones and the Sea Dragons?
It was definitely impressive. I was on Arlington. I remember I went with the Friday Night Lights, and they put up a good game. I mean, the stats are dead even. They ran the same amount of plays, 56 plays. The yardage is like a 30-yard difference. They both averaged 6 yards a play. It came down to a couple things. I think that touchdown right before halftime.
Yeah,
where Seattle went up to big. That was a backbreaker, and it came right after a questionable roughing the Danuch call, if you ask me. There, but
yeah.
which extended the drive.
Danuch in this league.
You can't protect the Danuch. Hands off of the Danuch. If you want to get Danuch back, trust me, he'll give you an interception, but you don't rough the Danuch. And so that touchdown right before half, and then Arlington missed a 4th and 1 on Seattle's 10-yard line with just a horrible play. They did a pass left. It was a bad pass, bad drop. They still could have had it. It was just a weird play calling down there. And that's what it came down to, 24-15. But Seattle was still impressive on the road to come up with that win in Friday Night Lights. I didn't think it was going to be.
They kind of dictated the control of the game, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're a better team. But I thought it was going to be a tough situation for them. Not as easy as you guys thought it was going to be. But they proved me wrong. Seattle, I mean, they got the win and cover as well as they deserved it.
And we saw Vic Bolden have 3 for 40 of making his XFL appearance. J-Mark, what'd you make of this game?
Yeah, well, I'm happy Seattle finally covered. I mean, they've been red hot, but they haven't been covering games, it doesn't seem like. So nice for them to get the cover in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the Philip Lindsay signing. I was a fan of him in the NFL. Dude runs hard. He was undrafted in the NFL and won the starting job for Denver. And you can just see the way he runs. He runs hard.
Lived in the parents' basement, just the kind of grinder XFL likes.
Exactly.
I'm a Colorado
that's huge.
Buffalo fan, guys, so I remember him from his days at CU. But yeah, great signing. And I mean, I'm curious the power rankings for you guys. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to argue about it, I'm sure.
Yes.
But nice win for the Sea Dragons there. And shout out to Moneyline Mac in the chat.
Moneyline Mac.
And I think he's right. We'll talk about that in a second. But next up, the San Antonio Brahmas got absolutely fucking destroyed, 26-12. Have we talked about the pass blocking for the San Antonio Brahmas? Because there is none. And Kurt Benkert, look, I get it. He was an ECU guy, but he did transfer to Virginia, which I will always hold against him. And he got his ass whooped, and it was pretty fantastic. As a guy that loves seeing the quarterback get hit. But if San Antonio wants to try to win a game, you might want to get a new left tackle because that guy was destroyed the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't run the ball. I mean, Jacques Patrick, 12 for 20. Where the hell was this with Vegas? And then Vegas, out of the fucking blue, they bring in what's his name, Jalen McClendon, who actually. Woo. What the hell? Where was this?
I mean, he is definitely a subscriber to the XFL Gambling Podcast because he had to have heard Colby just tearing him apart on our previous show and just giving him zero respect. And in your defense, Colby, he did only have 3 career college touchdown passes, which he almost tied by halftime in this game.
Yeah, and look, he's only got 2, so I'm still taking the under on 3.
He looked great, though.
Yeah, he did.
He looked great.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
How bad is Brett Hundley? What's going on over there?
Right.
Jesus.
So was this the motivation in trading Perez is in practice McClendon was just balling?
That's got to be it, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can figure out.
Gotta be. I mean, but still, I mean, San Antonio looked awful, man. If you watch this, I did watch this game, and I'm just like, they suck. They suck on really all fronts. And I just, they finally had a good punt return, and the guy, I think his name was Terrell Bonds, ended up fumbling it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a disaster. They got their ass kicked. They even dressed up the score, I feel like, a little bit. Like that thing, I feel like, was worse.
Well, they had a kickoff return for the touchdown, right? Your first
finally we had a kick return.
Yes.
7 weeks in, first kick return. Let's see if you're gonna have 4 more over the next 5 weeks. Maybe it's possible.
Did you guys see Hines Ward at the beginning of the game pumping his team up, saying, "Hey guys, I want at least 2 touchdowns. We have to have 2."
That's a low
Isn't that
tape.
setting the bar just a little low? Like only 2?
Right.
You
Come
have to have
on.
2. Well, actually, no, you needed more than 2 because you gave up 26. All
Yeah,
right?
well,
They
right.
got there too.
They got there too. What we do what we want, coach. We do what you ask, coach.
Well,
What
it
do you
wasn't the
want?
offense that got the 2. It was the special teams that got one of them.
Right. Well, we still
But,
got 2. Yeah, that's a
I
good
mean-
point. Although I was on Vegas and only half of it was because it was a fade of San Antonio. I'm like, I was just not going to rush to take them, and they had fucking barely got 200 yards versus maybe the worst defense in the league of Vegas, between them and Orlando. And I mean, they just look so bad. Although Landon Akers did come back. I was talking trash about his high DFS price. He looked pretty good. He looked the old Cyclone out there. And I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, it's 6 for 75, I think, 7 targets.
San
But
Antonio's got to be the worst team now, right?
yeah.
I know
San
we
Antonio, right.
I know we got to do our rankings after this, but I mean, they're terrible. They're so terrible. I mean, the rushing in this game, a combined, you ready for this nugget here? Combined 120 yards on 45 carries.
Jesus Christ.
Just brutal. Absolutely fucking brutal. I don't know what to read into this. The one game I got wrong. J. Mark, what'd you make of the Vegas Vipers and the San Antonio Brahmas?
Yeah, it's the game I got wrong as well. The Brahmas just look like a mess. They look like a shit show. And Vegas, McClendon looked like he had them fired up and that he could move that ball well.
Yeah.
Just like CJ said, what is wrong with Brett Hundley? Like this guy that they bring in, they wanted him since before the season even started. We finally got him. All the quarterback controversy that's happened there. And then this guy that has not played a snap ended up looking really, really good. And we still haven't seen Brett Hundley. Aside from just a couple plays here and there. So
yeah, my only answer is either a J. Mark Byron Scott / voodoo doll that you guys both have of Hundley and Perez. One of you have it too.
I still want clarity on the league's salary cap.
Right.
Because if you're paying this guy $200K, wouldn't you send him off and keep Perez and McClendon then?
I think they paid him in chips though, and he's already dumped that at the craps table.
I'm being honest though, I'm curious because if there's one guy that's substantially paid more than the rest, I mean, I feel like everyone should have an equal playing field in these leagues, but I don't know. If anyone knows, please DM me at DColbyD on Twitter because I'm curious how the salary cap works in this fucking league.
Speaking of gambling, a quick side note on this game though. I watched pretty a lot of this game. The broadcast and it's funny how they embrace gambling obviously because they have to, but they still don't really know how to do it. They have like their regular announcers talking about it. Like no one's coaching them through it. You know what I mean? They sound ridiculous, and so you could tell they want to push that narrative. And they have the sideline reporter. He's showing the ticket to the window. He had the under, which is 39, right? And he's openly rooting for the under. And then they showed him like when Vegas is driving, they're down to 15. He's like, it's over. It's gonna go over. He's like complaining like a fucking mop, like talking about his bet. And then like, well, hold on. And then I know Vegas' kicker is awful because I have on my fantasy team, but I'm like, it's not over yet. Then he misses the field goal, and then you hear him. They're openly cheering. I mean, like, it's one thing to be cheering for a bet, like if you are a fan, but if you're an announcer, now you're cheering for people to fail, like this kicker to miss his field goal. Like, yes, he shanked it. He's gonna get fired, and I hit my $50 under ticket. Like, okay, let's have a little professionalism. Let's teach you how to talk about the betting. I don't need your live sweat and rooting for this guy to miss, be unemployed.
I mean, yeah, you make a great point, though. I caught that moment, too. And it was pretty hilarious.
It's funny, but it's just bizarre rooting for failure because of your fucking bet. You know what I mean? Not even failure, ineptitude, I
mean, I love rooting for failure, but I do it normally when the mic's not on.
Sure, not when my job is to broadcast these players. I mean, you owe these players something, So
San Antonio had a total of 206 yards. That includes like return yardage. Just brutal. Absolutely fucking brutal.
Who was that quarterback? Benkert?
Benkert? I mean, look, dude, he showed signs actually. Like he's definitely their best passer that they've had.
Yeah.
but he's
He
still
got
not.
hurt. He got hurt and came back. They had like no other bodies left or
The
something.
left
I
tackle
felt
was
bad for
getting
him.
killed every play, even on plays that resulted in like an incomplete pass. I challenge the audience: go watch the tape of this. Like the left tackle. I'm sorry, no, the right from Benkert, the right tackle, left from watching on television. The right tackle though was getting destroyed every fucking play of the game. Like literally every play of the game. I was like, oh, it's going to be a fun afternoon for the quarterbacks here.
Homework assignment. Right. Homework assignment to watch film. Put Moneyline Mac on that. Bob Huggins' old film guy. Watch some film on that left tackle McIntyre and earn your keep around these comments.
Oh, man. All right, we're going to get to the other two games. I want to tell you, we're brought to you by Sword Vitality. Look, an erection's always cool, even when you're by yourself, right? Look, I mean, it's just a good thing to have. And what if I told you that 40% of men are affected by impotence at the age of 40, and nearly 70% of the men are affected at the age of 70? All right. So, look, stop buying the highly suspect pills in the gas stations, the horny goat weed, because we all been there, had a few cocktails, going to refill your big gulp, and you say, hey, let me try a couple of these. Right? They don't work. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? So, and look, some people, they end up hiding this stuff, hiding the pills in your sock drawer. You don't need to do all that shit, all right? Because you manscape. But let me ask you this. Do you take care of your plumbing? Because you need to. You should. Sword Vitality helps you increase your blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man. It's time to become a Sword Vitality man if you aren't experiencing erections in the morning. That's just plain and simple, all right? Talking about Sword Vitality should come comfortable too. Like, look, I mean, this is 2023, guys. All right. You're hanging out with, you haven't seen your pals in a while. You're out at the fucking, I don't know. You're out at the XFL game. You're at Cashman Field talking to your buddies, doing a Jaeger bomb or something. You say, yeah, you know, I haven't seen you. How you been? Well, yeah, I've been hiking. I watch football. I use Sword Vitality. You should be that confident because really, an erection's a good thing, and you want to have more sex. If they're second guessing you, well, that's on them, right? And the three main benefits of Sword Vitality is it increases blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man in the bedroom. Sword Vitality also can help increase your stamina. All right, that goes for everything, even when you're doing the fucking dishes. All right, you don't have to hide it. You can be proud of it. So unsheath your sword with Sword Vitality. Visit swordvitality.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a nice discount at checkout. That's swordvitality.com. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by the driver giveaway. Yeah. Look, we're giving you a tailor-made driver. Golf Gambling Podcast is giving one away. All right, so get in. It's a contest. The contest is completely free to enter, and you have a chance to win an awesome tailor-made driver. The drawing will take place Sunday, April 8th, so make sure you get in by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver. All right. All right. Well, look, here we go. We're back with this nice talk here on the DC Defenders, the shocking game. This is why sports are played, because everyone was all over the Defenders, you know. Well,
shocking to some, Colby. Not on this show. Not listening to this show.
We were all over the Guardians. Not only did we take the Guardians in this game, we took a future
championship.
Orlando Guardians. I mean, Abram Smith still went for $127. It's almost impossible they lost this game. He averaged 7.1 yards a carry. But here's my only question. Guys. Why did he only have 18 carries? Because to me, if my running back's averaging over 7 yards a carry, I'm not throwing a pass until they show otherwise. All right. I know Tamu, another great game, 21 of 29, 285. Almost 10 yards of completion. And I guess that's your argument back is, well, every time he completed a pass was 10 yards.
I mean,
Also threw for 3 touchdowns. But I'm sorry, you if you can run the ball like that, you can dictate the pace of the game. And I felt like that was their flaw. And, the Guardians got up to a lead. They came back. Now, obviously, DC misses a big kick. And Abram Smith did fumble. So maybe that's it. But, I know we already kind of hit on this game, but what a fucking game. What a
Yeah.
win for the Guardians. The people in Orlando are crazy. The Outback Steakhouse, the wait list is fucking insane from the Guardians fans. What'd you guys make of this one? I know we talked about this, but
let's talk more about it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. It's not that I mean, you know, DC put up 36 points. I think their flaw was Dormady, like you said. I mean, it just went back and forth. You know, they missed a field goal at the end to win it, but like, you know, like they went down to the buzzsaw that we predicted, that is Camping World, that is our Orlando Guardians in the league. Better be on notice. I mean, it is set up. It really is set up for him. You could see. I mean, Buckley actually just had a press conference how this didn't happen overnight. And we are talking about their first win of the season. Let's not forget about that. But
yeah,
you know, but the signs were there though. The last couple of weeks, you know, with these games, they looked efficient. They looked better than the other teams that have a few more wins, and you could sense this coming. I didn't know if they would have enough to actually pull out the outright win, but
got it done.
They got it done. It was incredible. And I will say one thing with that. Our favorite guy, Dino Blandino, because there were so many plays. It was just nonstop scoring. Obviously, it was the game of the season so far. Derek King threw a ridiculous touchdown pass, and that I still don't think is a touchdown. It was amazing.
I didn't think it was a touchdown either.
They clear it. Yeah, Dino clears it, and and Buckley was just like, "All right, I'm going to challenge it." And then they're like, and they tell him like, "Well, Dino, he already looked at it. And he says no touchdown. Look at it again. I want to waste a challenge." He wanted to challenge the challenge, which I love. Terrell Buckley.
I mean, I love that as a stubborn guy. I think I might be doing the same shit because I mean, dude, in the and this goes back to, you know, we'll touch base on this because I want to ask you a couple questions about this game, but there was it wasn't helmet to helmet, but an unnecessary roughness hit on the receiver in the San Antonio game that I thought was absolutely fucking ridiculous. Did you guys see? And Blandino backed it. They went to it, and he's like, "Yep, it was the correct call." So I'm so perplexed at this. He throws a pass to the back of the end zone where the receiver potentially can catch the touchdown. The defender, not knowing if he's going to catch the ball or not, hits him, right? But does not launch, does not helmet to helmet, and he gets the penalty, which extends that drive, which I know San Antonio was going to lose that game regardless. I don't understand what they're turning the sport into. Did you guys see that call?
The San Antonio one, I did not, but that's been the pattern. I think, you know, they lump them in. They lump them in with some of these NFL calls that are just unnecessary, and you know, and what Blandino looks at is just incredible how quickly he is. Do we have another angle? Nope. All right, well then that's it. You know, and send it back out. Let's keep this going. Like, what's going on? How does this stand-up comic have the fucking power over this entire league? He's doing every game.
He confirms that it was an unnecessary hit.
Right.
I'm like, wait, how is the defender supposed to know that he's not catching the ball? I don't understand what they've turned this sport into. And this, I mean, we've seen this in the NFL too, in college as well. And I'm like, the game goes so fast, you have no idea whether the receiver caught it or not. You have to figure this out. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hit him there. I don't understand. That call drove me crazy. But okay, let's get back to the DC game.
Yeah.
Max in the chat, he's asking, you know, what's going on. He's happy with that loss. Should the Defender fans panic, or are they still the best team in the league, you think?
Well, I think Orlando's the best team in the league, but I do think that DC has nothing to worry about. They didn't even come out flat. They did whatever they wanted to on offense. I mean, and the defense. I mean, it was a little shocking how the D line couldn't get to Dormady, but DC has nothing to worry about.
And the only thing that concerns me about DC is I feel like they made no adjustments on defense at all.
Yeah.
That concerns me a little bit, but long term, I'm not concerned about it. Now, the Guardians, excuse me, I'm concerned about because this had to have been like their Super Bowl. They just beat the undefeated team, their first win. Now they're going to have to really focus so that they can keep winning. They have the talent to do it. They just showed they couldn't do it. But I'm concerned that they're going to be riding too high right now.
Well, luckily they have Arlington and San Antonio.
Yeah.
So
that's true. So they could They
I mean,
play
hell,
lackluster. in
hell,
the end, so.
we're riding too high after Orlando's win. We're not ready to get back to work next week with them. I'm already penciling them into the St. Louis game. I'm already concerned about St. Louis at the end of the season.
Oh man. Okay, let's talk about the final game then, because that game. Oh, this is where I do get I want to talk a lot of shit to you guys. You guys, back when I had my my rankings,
You deserve this.
I thought I said the Roughnecks were fool's gold, and now
Mm-hmm.
here they are. They still start, or they actually started Old McDonald, and it didn't matter because the Roughnecks are done. Stick a fork. I mean, look, they're going to make the playoffs because the South's terrible. They only had 228 yards of offense, less than 4 yards a play. The team's not that good, and that's the reality. And I still am a bit baffled. And we were talking about this. Subscribe to the USFL Gambling Podcast. I cover both these leagues, and I don't understand why everyone's throwing the ball so much. I understand some, but to me, like, there's only one team. I still like, if St. Louis is the second biggest rushing team, they still only ran for 66 yards. I'm perplexed, and I really feel like, and J Mark, I know you watched the USFL last year.
Yeah.
I feel like these teams would all get their ass kicked by the USFL teams, with the exception to DC. Do you agree with that statement?
100%. Unless it's the Maulers, but yeah, the other teams.
Agreed. Unless it's the Maulers, but even the Maulers, if they were playing like Arlington or San Antonio, they might win. It's crazy to me that these teams run for so little. Like, I mean, I guess Borgie actually had his best, rushing day, and McDonald in the game ran for 40, but damn, he was 15 of 32 for 106. Less than 50%. That's not doing anything. CJ, what do you make of this game, and what do you make of your Roughnecks?
There was a lot of there are my Roughnecks, but I did back them in this game, and I realized quickly that home field meant absolutely nothing. Colt McDonald. I mean, I have always liked Silvers, although he was fading. That interception Colt McDonald threw across the entire field on 3rd and goal from the. I mean, what are you doing?
Yes.
And especially when the running back was wide open, actually on the right side. It's like he like looked him off like, yeah, this will be more fun if we try this, won't we? And it totally negated. I mean, granted, they got set up with Brian Hill fumbling on the first play of the game. So, and then when they got that thing back, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. And then they did run the ball well, like you said, Colby. They Borgie and Dejon Lee looked great. I think, like, on those quick draws.
Old McDonald ran the ball well. I mean, I think
absolutely.
that's the dynamic part of what he gives that offense. The problem is the offense still sputtered, though, man.
They looked terrible, even with Minnie McCaffrey, Borgie up there, and they got the scoop and scoop. I mean, I can't. They are. I'm seeing the team just like plummet going down the other way now. And then, I mean, I don't know if they can go back to Colt McDonald after that.
I'm just saying, if Orlando gets in the playoffs, I think they could be a live dog against the Roughnecks.
Oh, yeah. For sure, absolutely. And I mean, Orlando, live dog. They're the chalk in our playbook. Another Dino Blandino play, by the way, that when they challenged that pass interference, and which Meatball passed, challenging interference, which he was right to. It did look like interference. Dino's explanation for that was amazing. He's watching replay in slow motion. He says it's interference, but in real time, you couldn't tell that. Well, great. Well, this is in real time. This is the instant replay portion. Right. This is the instant replay portion of the game where you look at the replay and see what actually happened. He's making excuses for the line. Yeah, I get why they didn't get it. What do you do? Like,
that was the most confusing thing all weekend for me, because he literally said, well, we have to review it in real time. I see what it's like, but we have to review it in real time.
Right.
No, you never have any replay in real time. You slow it down. They even watch him like slowing it down. Here's where the ball came out and stuff. But he said, no, we have to. And then Becht was like, well, he's got his master's in officiating. So
I don't understand how Dean Blandino has a job.
Because he's got a master's in officiating, according to Becht.
I got a master's because I watched some fucking 1,000 million football games, but it's shit.
He's never reffed a game. I love it. It's so funny.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of Coach Meatball, and they got the win, and they were the better team, obviously. But going for one there at the end when a 2-point conversion would make it a 10-point game. What are you doing? and his play is like fading back 10-yard pass. Well, you might as well do that from the 5 anyway, you fucking meatball. Jesus.
Still a bit perplexed by the scoring system as Tony Meatball, but I can tell you this, I'm buying in to the Battlehawks.
Yeah, Jay. Happy birthday, Jay Mark, and your Battlehawks.
Yes.
They're looking good.
You know, I got nervous when they fumbled on the first play. Then McCarron got hurt for only 2 plays, but I thought he was going to be hurt for a while. I'm like, oh, these guys are going to fuck it up on my birthday.
I mean, their offense still wasn't like
a lot of checkdowns that really hurt them. Third down conversions, and Brian Hill is good.
Missed like a pro touchdown that would have been easy. You know what I mean? Like but, you know, I still feel like they're one of the better teams, maybe.
For sure.
Maybe
Colby, you must have loved that part where we talk about everyone being mic'd up in the sideline interviews. How about when they're interviewing the St. Louis D-line while that scoop and score happened to make it a 2-point game?
Yeah.
And like Stormy's like, so tell me about your daughter. She got swag or something? Meanwhile, the game's getting fucking tied up. Like, oh, sorry. This is the only touchdown in the last half hour happened.
Dude, and how about the fact to watch this game? We had to watch like fucking anyone that had ESPN. I don't know if you caught it on ESPN Plus. I put it on ESPN2 to watch this game, and they had like what's that new like the it's like paddleboarding or some shit. I don't fucking know. Like
pickleball.
Yeah,
they were doing like John McEnroe pick and ball and shit like that.
I don't even know. Like I clicked on it. I go, man, I'm on the wrong shit. But I'm like, man, they waited for that. They didn't cut in. They didn't interrupt.
Yeah, you can't interrupt the ending of Michael Chang and John McEnroe pair pickleball for a second.
Unfucking believable, man. That's tough. That's tough. But I did come away thinking, hey, you know, St. Louis for real, the whole North for real, and let's get to our power rankings here before we get out of here.
All right.
Real quick before you start that, remember there's only one team that's been eliminated from the playoffs, and that's Vegas.
Yeah, because they're in the North,
and they needed to. So who won that knocked them out because they needed to win? I remember that.
St. Louis and Seattle.
Yeah. Not DC, but yeah, St. Louis and Seattle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, power ranking wise, let's start out with the team that we think is the worst. Let's switch it up this week.
Oh, all right. That's interesting. I mean,
I think San Antonio gets my vote.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with San Antonio. Just I mean, which is shocking.
So we're all starting to figure these things out. Okay. So we're figuring out this season now. At Team 7, I think it's the Arlington Renegades.
Whew. I'll go with it.
No. Gosh, it's either them or Vegas, but Vegas look good, man.
No, absolutely not. Yeah,
I'll go Vegas because Rod was on the ball. Yeah,
this is tough for me, but because Vegas has been the only one eliminated, I'm throwing them in there. I know that doesn't make them necessarily worse or better than Arlington, but they're the only ones that don't have anything to play for anymore, so they're out for me. So I put them at 7.
But if Houston was in the North, they would have been eliminated by now.
And with Arlington with Perez, you can't put Arlington below Vegas and Orlando for crying out loud. I mean, yeah, we will, but but I mean, Arlington's so bad. But you have to give him a little hope with Perez being your quarterback.
I'm putting Vegas at 7, Arlington at 6. J Mark, what are you doing at 6?
Same.
CJ?
Yeah, but I mean, as I say it, I mean, I have Arlington 7, Vegas 6.
Okay. At 5, I have the Houston Roughnecks as the 5th best team in this league.
That's hilarious.
Colby copied mine, I think.
That is absolutely hilarious. Houston beat Orlando twice by 30 points each time.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Different Orlando team.
They're completely different Orlando team. Dormady was in court at that point.
You're right. I'll go Orlando. Orlando's 5.
Listen, we all love Orlando. Huge arrow pointing up to them. But I mean,
they're lucky they got him early when they had 10 on the field every fucking play. Right?
I'm still sticking with Houston. I'm not doing my power rankings based off of week 1, guys.
Wow.
I'm doing them off of this last week. And I got Houston.
I mean,
I like that. I'm still gonna put Orlando at 5.
That's a man that's been drinking whiskey 2 days straight. But all right.
What you got Orlando at 5 then, correct, CJ?
I have Orlando at 5, yes.
Okay, well, Houston's definitely 4 for me. You can't tell me You cannot tell me that they belong anywhere near the top 3.
No, correct.
They've
I'm
beaten 0
I've-
good teams.
I'm finally taking my medicine with Houston and putting them at 4.
J-Mark, who do you have?
I got Orlando at 4.
Oh, I love it.
That's
I love
hilarious.
it,
That's
go.
hilarious. Now they were all
You know-
consensus 8 last week.
No. I had them at 5 last week.
You had Orlando at 5 last week?
Yeah,
At 0-6?
Sean gave me a lot of shit for
I
it.
love
And
it.
I said, I'm just fading these other teams.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, look, they're a covering machine, like I said. They won the game outright, but also, I mean, I think 4 straight weeks they've covered.
Real quick before we get into it, I mean, just to emphasize how much J-Mark is invested and loyal to our Orlando team as a show collectively. We gave out the 150 to 1 for Orlando. We're all on. We all have our own little piece of it. And J-Mark had a little trouble with his online book account. He flexed his online personality number. Says, I want to get my listeners on you. I want to smear you. And they said, okay, please, sir, do not destroy us on your show. Here's $50 free credit bets. And he put it all on Orlando to ship it for a nice $7,500 payout.
Yeah.
Go.
The 2 days they had me locked out of my account, waiting for a manager to call me. And I finally say, you know what? I'm about to put you guys on blast to social media because of this poor customer service. They don't know if I have 2 followers or 2,000. They don't know. And 5 minutes later, oh, your account's been unlocked and you have 2 $25 credits. Okay, let's put it on Orlando.
Love it.
There you go. There you go.
So now make those fuckers pay me $7,500 for locking me out for 2 days.
Yes.
And what's their name? Let's shit on them too. No, I'm joking.
Only if Orlando somehow doesn't win the championship will we reveal their name.
Yeah, there you go.
At number. So I'm curious. The top 3. Do we all have DC at 1?
Yeah,
I
of
do.
course.
I do too.
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets hairy. All right. At number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Sea Dragons, especially knowing that they just got Philip Lindsay. J-Mark?
St. Louis. I got to keep riding with them.
CJ?
Fine. I got Seattle. Danucci doing the 6-gun shooter too after that pass to Josh Gordon. That was I mean, Danucci's really started to feel it.
How about him arguing with Hazlitt? No. That I made a bad throw. I made it. No. It's like, dude, he's the fucking coach.
Right. I know. I love the way the coaches hate. They just don't listen to Danucci at all. Danucci's always trying to say, "Well, we going for 2, 3? Okay, 3. All right." They're like, fuck you, Danucci. Just run this play.
So you have St. Louis 3. I got St. Louis 3.
St. Louis 3, Seattle 2, DC 1. Yeah.
All right. Well, look.
I will say this. I'll say this though for you guys, especially you, Colby. Seattle is closer to DC than St. Louis is closer to Seattle for me.
I agree.
As far as the rankings.
I agree because I look watching St. Louis today. They got the win.
Mm-hmm.
I still wasn't super impressed. Now, I guess you could say the same with Seattle over the past couple of weeks. But I think getting Philip Lindsay is a fucking big deal. So, and I think Seattle, they had DC on the ropes in DC. Probably should have won that game. But,
well, like J Mark says, I don't go by week 1 for my power rankings.
That's right.
Anymore. That was a completely different DC squad.
Well, this coming week, DC at Seattle.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's awesome.
Looking at this upcoming week. Let's talk about that before we get out of here.
Okay.
What's the game that you're looking? I know we're gonna just say whoever the Guardians are playing, which is Arlington, right?
Right.
Is there a game that you got Saturday Vegas at St. Louis? It's kind of a snooze fest. Vegas already lost their spot, but I guess St. Louis is trying to stay afloat. Their spot. Arlington. That's an interesting part of this is the St. Louis Seattle race for the second spot. But then you have Arlington at Orlando, Houston at San Antonio. I mean, there's no way Houston loses that one, right, guys?
Yeah, Houston has to get, an absolute win. And also with Vegas, they also are playing for, in this league, you're playing to get traded to a contender. It's all, it's all fixed insider trading. So maybe we can get some, let's pluck their roster and get some receivers down in Orlando for them. They could use some help. Give me, get a Geronimo Allison down there or something.
And then Sunday, so you got 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. DC at Seattle. That's easily the best game, right?
DC at Seattle. What time is that? Is that a later game or is that an earlier
Yeah,
game?
7 o'clock on the east, so 4 o'clock on the
I
west.
love Sunday.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, so I think that's the game of the week.
Mhm.
All right, folks. Well, we'll be back Wednesday picking week 8 as you know the season continues to wind down. Yeah. Give us a follow on Twitter at XFL Gambling Pod. Make sure you're subscribed to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it. CJ Sullivan, give him a follow on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. Also, it's J Mark's birthday. What the fuck? Yeah, you should be subscribed to the Old Fashioned Football podcast. You should also be following the guy on Twitter at JMark Football. Anything else you want to say on your birthday, buddy?
No, thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Thanks for another good pod.
Yeah, when's that debut episode that you want with the big time guest?
Well, he's pushing back on us.
What?
Yeah,
He's still got a big time guest.
Yeah, what is this? Andrew Jameel or something? Ghosting? What's going on here?
No, the guy works for ESPN, and ESPN changed his travel schedule, so it got pushed to 4/11. But we're trying to get this Colby D guy on 4/4. So
well, I gotta check my travel schedule. No, I'm joking.
Well, I only got one retweet, so I don't know which one to do it for. 4/11 or 4/4. I wanted to combine a birthday and a show debut gift for you.
Fair enough.
Folks, check out the Old Fashioned Football podcast. And look, it could be a day late. Give JMark at JMark Football a tweet saying happy birthday. And look, I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. Give us a follow. We're talking college football, college basketball, college baseball, college football experience, the college baseball experience, the college basketball experience, all together on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe over there as well. And also the USFL Gambling Podcast. Just dropped an episode.
Yes.
Season preview. Did a nice solid hour and a half on the United States Football League. Check that episode out, as we love all these spring leagues. So folks, do all that. And yeah, until next week.
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy to see a tide turn.
There we go, folks.
Did I say those words?
Raised in the desert.
Classic George W. there. This is the XFL Gambling Podcast. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Baby.